So my goal of this stream and what I've been wanting to do for a long time is I'm wanting to show off my insane, it's Monday, yeah, I feel that. My insane sorting system, and I got things started. So I've got all the materials, well maybe not all, but I got like majority of the materials showing here, as you can see. And then you saw the train drop off materials, and those materials are going to go into these containers and so on and so forth. We're going to build the rest of it. So I more or less just got it started, and that's going to be my focus today. Playing Satisfactory. Alright, so real quick, we've got over 30 items, somewhere around 36 items, which is at least a nice round number. In 4s or 9s, depending on how you want to look at it. We're gonna focus more on 4s. And as you can see, so not including that over there, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that still divides in. And yes, there's numbers involved in this. Don't you worry, I'm doing the math, so you don't have to. Alright. Woo! So I'm actually gonna start in on doing a couple of things. Right, so we're gonna go ahead and start. By all means, if you have questions, throw them in the chat. If you want to make fun of me, throw it in the chat. If you want jokes, I will do my best. No promises. Alright, here we go. Oh, and you can also make fun of Faraday. I allow it, he may not, but that's okay. Let's see, so right now I'm putting down some mergers. So I did also kind of set this up a little bit. So what I'm doing right here, it's the only sorting that I've got going. So I actually put the ingots into my system, so that way I have stuff over here, because the trains are bringing all of my materials right now from 2 different directions. I have these here, and they are being cycled out because I actually don't want them in my system. This over here, because this is very important. I actually want to emphasize this probably more than anything. You want to have some kind of like dump container. What I mean by that is all these containers will go through a very specific sorting system, but if your system gets backed up and it doesn't move, it gets completely stopped. So having a dump, like just getting things out, which this actually gets dumped into here and then it goes back to the beginning. And the whole point of that is to get things moving. Go ahead, and as you can see, I have like the ingots fleshed out here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and split this. So this would be kind of the same thing. It is part of the 8, so we want to make sure that we're kind of still an important thing. And you'll see, like, this is going to take a lot of containers, but it just goes back to what I've mentioned. You want to make sure that you get things moving. And one of the best ways to get things moving, or at least, you know, not stationary, you don't want them bogged down on the conveyor belts. So we are going to put down containers just to give this also a little bit of a buffer. So that way when it is cycling all of this in and it goes through, which would be like our next part of this, we'll have it go through our actual sorting system. Okay, we got our 4 containers, and I am gonna do one more thing, but I'm gonna take a break on this and these containers and things like that. But I want to go up here because sometimes it's a little easier to work backwards. I've got a jetpack, so we're gonna do that. Now, I did like half of the work because I have these nice little pictures that tell me what they are. So like I said, we're gonna work backwards. Alright, so I'm gonna take smart splitters. So these are like half the programmable splitters as far as what you can do with them, but super useful. I'll show you here in just a sec. We got these 3 items. We got rods, plates, and then reinforced plates. So if I go in here, I can select, actually type out rods, plates. Oh, I didn't like the S. And then the reinforced plates. That was just me just showing that real quick, and I'm just gonna put these down real quick to just kind of get this going. So now that we have that, I like to do the other side of this whole thing, and it's gonna be like further breaking this down. So we're gonna take programmable splitters, and now we're going to place them so that way we can, when we do our split, now we're going to sort it even further. Like I said, I like to work backwards, so you get those down, and then you get these better splitters to just kind of help further sort stuff. So we can start putting these where they go. You know, it'll be fine. All right, so just like these have those 3 split up, we're going to put them on this one side. So this one here is going to require me, we'll add 2, and I think 2 because of the ones, and then we'll add 3. All right, so we are going to, let's just get out of it real quick. So we'll put quartz crystal and silica for now. So it'll be the quartz crystal, and these don't need to be in any specific order, which is kind of amazing, but because we have that sorting system up front, we don't have to worry about that. And then we have our computers and the smart plating. Computer. Supercomputer. And smart plating. Just as long as you get this one, like as long as these 3 are here, you're good. Like I said, you don't have to do the specifics. And then I'm going off of memory, but it was packaged water and oscillators. That is just maybe what's over there. Let's look. Yeah, so we got oscillators and water, and we're like I said, we're skipping that one, we're skipping that one, but we can always come back in here, you know, add it, put it on there, we're good. Like good, there's no issues there. Just another there. So now we have that, we can move on to the next one. So this part of it is done. Yay! Thing before we really got into like going through like the bigger part of the sorting. And then now I know it's gonna seem weird, but I'm gonna go into 2. I'm gonna go into 2 containers, but I'm going to have a side that's open. So this is like more of the reason for why I'm doing this, but I'm gonna still use everything to like its fullest. And well, we'll just jump into it here. So do not a merger, but a splitter. We'll do a splitter for all of these. So a lot of just mirroring. Other than the specifics, we're just doing a lot of mirroring. And then the next thing that we'll do is we're gonna put down, actually we'll just start on the first one. We're gonna put down 2 containers, and let's just do it based off of the middle just to help us with measurement. There. And then like I said, like a big part of this is like making sure everything cycles through, and if it gets stuck, well that's what we're gonna address. So now I'm not gonna connect this part just not yet. We'll connect the containers over here though, and then I'll show you what we're doing with that other part. in just a moment. Once we go into our programmable splitters, then you'll get to see like what we do. If you don't do it though, like I meant, oh, did I not put another container down here? Oh, because I had the, it's okay. See, I get distracted. Look, squirrel. It's fine. We're good, we're fine, we're okay. I'll come across it eventually and be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, huh? Okay, actually, since we're just right here, so we're gonna go in. We're gonna say any for the left side, any for the middle, but on the right side, we're gonna say overflow. And we'll do, actually, the great thing that they have now is you can just copy, paste. I love this because it literally just makes this so easy. And being that we literally made them all the same, you can go in, you can see any overflow. Should be good. All good. We got that all set up there. Okay, so now, like I mentioned, so you have these dump containers. Well, that's what this is for. We're gonna have a complete like system that's going to just cycle them out. I'm trying to make them more or less centered, but you know, it's a very limited space, but it's also why we have them so split apart. So that way we can do this. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna connect that. Then this top one will be connected here. So you can kind of see now where that's going. So the bottom one here, the top one here. That way it still all gets cycled through. And the whole idea behind even this is it's not supposed to be a lot of material. Ideally, it's not supposed to be a lot of material. But if you do get to a point within the system, if it gets to a point to where it is overflowing a lot of stuff, that's where the next part is going to come in. So we're going to have all of that go over here. I've got this one kind of doing something already. But we're going to get this back through our system. Alright, cool. So we got that going. It'll split into other threes. So whenever you make an item, or at least what I'm going to get to, I'm going to maximize production, which means I'm going to start making more and more of that one item on a large scale. And when that happens, you can then bring wherever that is, literally anywhere in the factory, you can bring them over here, you know, plug them into the mergers, and then they'll go into these containers and so on and so forth through the rest of the sorting system. But yeah, so now this next part is where we do actually get into the crazier part of this, but not really like super crazy, more of just there's more to keep track of on this part. So I'm probably gonna end up having to like go back and forth between my other area. I think for these I do have to actually, here, we'll just do this because the mergers are weird with the containers being right next to each other, but that's okay. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna go towards this next part of this. But yeah, Beth, how are you doing? Alright, so we'll get these all connected. We got those going. We get some of the like overflow in case things are getting like bottlenecked in a sense. And then we have them go through this merger. And I'm gonna do just the one line, and then I will do the top line maybe another time. I don't necessarily have to do it during the stream, but you'll get the idea as I do this. But we're gonna get our programmable splitters. Do highly recommend that you have a list. That way this part is not so difficult, and I'll at least explain the list. So I've actually already divvied up those 9 items, and obviously in order, and we'll go through that right now. So let's just make sure, because this is important. So we can either go this way or that way. I think since we have like our overflow going this way, we'll just stick from the left to right sort of like directional thing. So what that means, because I know I'm talking a lot, we'll just go into showing it if you're a visual, like more so. So we're gonna do 5. That's supposed to be 5, and we'll do 4. And this one's gonna be 1. Matter of fact, let's just copy this real quick, because then we can just quickly do this, and it'll help maybe potentially save time, because they'll literally all be the same anyway. Alright, so here we go. So I'm going to look off of my list, which is on my other screen. So I have alright, so I have like rods. Oh, I didn't like the S. Plates. This is gonna be kinda a little bit. Oh, what am I doing? Reinforced plates. Words were not being formed. Okay. Then we have screws. And then this is kind of where things get a little weird, but it'll, like I said, this will all correct itself, and you'll see where. So this is screws, and then caterium, or sorry, I call it caterium wire, but it's quick wire. Okay, same difference. It's used as caterium to make the wire. All right, and then we just kind of continue. This is supposed to be wire. This is supposed to be cable, copper sheet, and then this will make the 9th one for the concrete. Okay, but the good thing is, so here's the first 3, there's the second 3, because it kind of has to go over here, and it actually does have to. It just makes things flow a little bit better. If you start adding like more over here, you've got way too much material. Just so everyone understands, like doing it this way is just gonna save you, because like I've mentioned, this system requires like a flow. Okay, so we got that, and then this here, so we're gonna do any undefined. So what this does is it's going to specifically spit these ones out into its, left output, center output. It'll make those specific ones go through that one spot. And then the other one is any undefined. So that way, when sorting, as sorting do, So as sorting do, it'll go through here, it'll get through, and as long as it meets the requirements, it'll go through these 2. If it doesn't, it's gonna go through this. And then this is gonna go back into our system, but I'm gonna show you, I'll show you that after we get this all, actually like done up, because, oh my goodness, yeah. Do the logistics first, and then, worry about the harder stuff. So yeah, and it's like I also recommend like color coding. I did a color coding thing for my my list, so that way you know what 3 are going where, and you don't get lost, because I've also gotten lost. That's just me throwing some things I struggled with. All right, so we're gonna go with industrial beams, steel beams. You can kind of see that there's a running theme here with what we already just did earlier. Okay, and then we got rotors. This is also the same thing. As long as those items are here, they don't have to be in any order. I obviously am doing it in order because it's easier to keep track of like where I left off on my list. But yeah, I'm not gonna tell you how to do that. However you want to organize it, whatever makes sense for you. So as long as we have them there, we are good. Alright. Then we can move on to the next list, the next color. I don't know why I jumped out that way, but I did. Okay, so now we do the next ones. Circuit boards. High speed. Yeah, you see how like it's so easy to get lost in some of this too. So, you know, like I mentioned, why isn't it letting me select it? Okay, there it goes. I think it just hiccuped up. It did a hiccup for a sec. Okay. Then we got AI limiters. And adaptive control units. Then we got engines. Got packaged fuel. After I do this, we'll take a break. I think a break would be good. I say that as there's an ad break already. Just gotta go down my list real quick. Okay, so this one here, so this one's gonna be missing too. So I'm just gonna go ahead for now because we can always add it later, and we're just gonna remove. We're just gonna remove one of each because we don't need those, and then we're just gonna do the crystal, the quartz crystal, and the silica, and just go down the list here. Ooh. Sumper. The Sumper computer. I don't know what that is, don't ask. Alright, smart plating, packaged fuel. Oh, I missed oscillators, but it is okay. We don't have to have them in order. And this is any undefined. Alright, so this is the last one anyway. Going to copy and paste. And this one is iron rods and all that. Okay, good. Alright, and then just with like, so what the one thing I was supposed to do is I was supposed to put a merger in between, so that was, whew, that was my bad. I'm already forgetting things that are required. You'll see why though, like it's super important. Alright. Do that. Oh, let me do it. Go. Oh, okay, that was this. There's a reason why I haven't connected any of that back there to the actual material, as you can kind of sort of guess. Just until we have everything lined up, in case like, so just a good thing to remember. So I messed up. But if there was material going through, you'd have to pick up all that material and blah, blah, blah. So just keep in mind, as best you can, don't connect anything until you're fully ready. And then also when you're connecting, don't forget to actually connect, because I've done that too. Okay, it's fine. So now, the mergers. So the whole idea of these is to, when you go through and cycle all of the material, the whole idea obviously is it's supposed to cycle through and then go up to its designated location to, you know, go into its containers. Well, any undefined that's in here is going to go to the next location. And while we can just put it back into the system, I actually like having it. Well, we'll do two things. So here, let's just go ahead. We're gonna use smart splitters because it's kind of the same thing that we've done before. Also too, because of my brain's not working now. Limited space that I've given in this area, we are going to, I think we can probably more like, let's do like that. And then here, I think that's pretty good. It'll give us enough room because you still want containers to help with the flow. But we're gonna do something also on top of this because, like I said, you don't want it to get like bogged down or stuck, or you want it to be constantly moving. So just keep that in mind. I don't need my list anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. Alright, so like what we're doing with this one here. So this side says like any undefined, it's gonna go in here. And this is a this is just a smart splitter. Because what we're gonna do is this one here, we're just gonna say any to the right. And these other ones, we're just gonna go ahead and make them overflow. That way, if it really does get bogged down, we don't just have stuff sitting here waiting. This is the area you don't want to get bogged down. So, you want to make sure that gets, that flows probably more than anything else. So, all right. And then you're gonna connect. You can connect this over here to this. And we'll make it look pretty though. So then, yes, what I was saying with this one now, what you can do is take and cycle this. I like to go underneath because, like I've mentioned before, it makes it look nicer. And you just put them underneath here. This is part of the reason for why we have the merger there, so you can do that. So I'm gonna do that. Hopefully it just connects. We'll make the center one the one that will go, we'll just make that one go into the system again, but it's gonna start at the beginning. Like I said, that's the oh wait, I gotta make sure I'm doing it to the smart splitters. So we'll just have those ones go to the very beginning, the left go back into the system. So I'm gonna go back to this first one that we were doing. And these ones, we're going to have these ones, oh, why is it not snapping right? There we go, okay. So then these ones are gonna be the ones that are gonna go to the merge, but we're gonna skip. So we're gonna skip this one, and we're gonna go to this one. So there's a nice little like thing here. So we'll do that. You don't have to have it facing that way. It's just a little bit easier to... I think it might also be less material. Well, anyway. We did it! We got there eventually. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna literally do the same thing. We're just gonna have to mix it up a little bit when it comes to the side one there. But we'll handle that. Like I said, we're doing these one at a time. So we got that one going to the third. This one will probably, or most likely, go to the fourth. You can obviously do this however you want. We'll just make sure it's facing the correct way and undo this. Make sure we have at least a reasonable flow here. We'll undo the floor first. That it's under, because that matters. And and then make sure it's facing the correct way, and then now we can connect them. I was trying to do it different, and it just, you know, taking extra time. Okay, so there we go. We'll cover those back up because we no longer need them. I know this is, so yeah, like I was saying, like it's not necessarily complicated. You do it step by step, and it won't feel like it's as complicated. When you look at it as a whole though, and you are like trying to get started, oh boy, is that, yeah, that's overwhelming. I can understand that aspect of it. Okay, so we got that one, we got that one, then we got this one. So this is where things are a little weird, but we are gonna just do the opposite, but we're gonna have to take these ones and go to the other side. So I think this might be just weird because I'm gonna have it facing the other way. I think that will be probably the closest. You'll see what I'm saying though, because like it might not make sense just kind of thinking about it, but we'll show you visually what I'm talking about. So so it's this one, right? So then we skip this one and we go to this one over. Did I mess something up? Or I didn't close this. Okay, that threw me off. Let's close that. Okay. Please, I don't need any more confusion as I did that to myself. Okay. I don't want to confuse everyone else either, so for a second I was confused, but we are back on board. Don't mind me. Okay. So then this one here will go to... Oh, did I miss it? I missed it. Right here. Like I said, I'm trying not to confuse anyone, but I'm not doing a very good job. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you are following along. If you're not, I'm sorry. I'll take the blame on that one. Okay. Did I close all of the floors? I hope I did. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I just don't want any confusion to kind of further... Okay. Alright, so then those... So it's like 1 to 3... Basically, it's the evens. It's like 1 to 3, 2 to 4. Then, 3 back over to 1. This, let's not do that. Let's do this one. I'm gonna have to do the same thing I did when I merged the other, time. Yeah, I've thought a lot about this, and then I came up with this sorting system because, one, I like the messy chaos, but it turns into a nice, clean little, like, you get the sorting going. I don't think, is it gonna make it? I think it was off by a little bit previously, too. But I'm just gonna go diagonal. I know that's kind of makes it look a little messy, but from the top, you actually don't see it. Waiting. Okay, so we got everything connected, other than our, we got 4 different, like, these here will just go back into the system. All right, so we do actually have our system pretty much in place with one small, like, we haven't connected those. We are gonna do more than this, but that can be later, like, to improve it. Okay, so we left on the programmable splitters, we left these 2 as they are. Well, what's gonna happen with those? Because they're going to sort out those materials, we're actually going to go ahead and build a platform. I didn't do it because I didn't want to, like, overwhelm. But we're going to now take this, because we just want it to be seamless, like we're just going to have it the same platform. At those. So now what we're going to do, I like to just, at this time, I like to take the lifts and just raise them up, so that way you can get a good idea of where they are. And it depends on which way you want to go. So I think for right now, let me just see. We got plenty of room over there. Actually, no, let's go this way. You'll see why, because it's a little easier to have things centered, just to like lessen how much conveyor belts you're using. You could do it anywhere, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a sec. After I raise these, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, don't mind me, I'm just rambling. Okay, so if you remember, because it is important, so we've got together, that makes 9. Together, this makes 9. So this part, you're going to stick to that same thing. Like, you want the 9 pieces to go into the same container. Well, containers, because you, once again, want multiple containers. And it really depends on, like, where you want them. I try to get them, like, to the middle. Okay, so we put down these containers because you're gonna have the 9 go here. So in that breath, we're just gonna want to make sure, and I think this is the yeah, so this one's the iron rods going from left to right. So we want this close one, or these close ones, to go to that one. That's obviously ideal because you want, you know, the container to then go there. So then this will look like prettier than what I had. I just had a feeling, I was like, I think I want these to be split up because it's just not going to look as pretty if I kept them the way that they were. Okay, so it should be basically the first 9, second 9, third 9, fourth 9, which also translates to this one going there, that one going there, so on and so forth. Okay, makes sense, right? Okay. So let's go ahead then, and we will do the same, but with conveyor belts leading to those. All right. Well, we got it. I feel like we are good to go. So with that said, we are going to connect the material now. I hope everyone is ready, because it's about to go down. Here we go. Connected. Connected. I don't know if it's connected over there though. Connected. Connected. I feel like it already has stuff going through. So that's what it looks like down here. And it's just gonna go through and cycle like we set up. And then out here, the Caterium, it looks like there's a lot of it. It looks like we also have a ton of rubber. But yeah, so it's gonna go and cycle all of that out. I think I need to be up a lot higher than what I'm even going towards here. Let's do this. And kind of see like the stuff flowing there.